Right, so you might be wondering why I'm standing outside with so many rackets in my hands. Basically, I'm trying to illustrate to you that so much of the technology in these high-end rackets are in this one, the Nanoflare 1000Z. And on top of that, they added improvements. This racket is nuts. This is a Nanoflare racket from Yonex, meaning it is in the headlight series. Headlight rackets are famous for their speed, but traditionally, they lack a bit of power. But ever since Yonex has put out the Nanoflare 700, and then they upped the game with the 800 and the 800 LT, they completely changed the scene for headlight rackets. Players are able to get power, but also make use of the speed and the better handling that headlight rackets offer. This racket, the 1000Z, just takes things to a completely different level. This is setting a golden standard in the industry for headlight rackets. This one is specifically engineered with smash power at the forefront. So the spec of this racket is the 4U G5 model. 4U is the weight, it's lighter than 3U, and G5 is the grip size, a smaller grip size than G4. This is strung at 26 pounds of tension with the Exbolt 63 strings by Yonex. I remember the first time I tested those strings out, I was just blown away by the speed and repulsion it offered. So I thought it'd be a fantastic idea to pair this with the Nanoflare 1000Z. Now let's check out the technology in more detail. The Nanoflare 1000Z sports a compact frame which is found on the Z models. Well, Z models are essentially the top tier rackets of each range. So this is the Astrox 100ZZ, previously my favorite racket. And then we also have the Dura Z Strike. Fantastic. This racket came out in 2017, endorsed by Victor Axelsen, and it was just so beast. It just blew the industry apart. And also, one of the most legendary rackets, the 2014 Voltrig Z Force 2, endorsed by Lee Chong Wei, who won the 2014 All England. This is just legendary. Big power, big gunners. So essentially a compact frame allows you to have that solid punch when you're delivering your power. And it just feels more aerodynamic through the air as well. So why do I have the Nanoflare 700 here? The Nanoflare 700 has a very, very unique frame shape. It's quite sharp. It's hard to show you on camera actually. I'm going to try pan it. And this allows the racket to cut through the air and literally slice through it with minimal drag. This Nanoflare 1000Z also has that. Towards the bottom of the frame, if you look at the grommets, there's something called a speed assist bumper in the 1000Z. This is to reduce warping and to maximize the repulsion that you get out of the racket. There's something similar on the Arc Saber 11 Pro. It's on the top, it's called the control assist bumper. And that is placed in a different location to try and maximize the touch and response for maximum accuracy. So these bumper pads, depending on where they're put, can have very, very different effects. So on the Voltrig Z Force 2, they have the tri-voltage system. This racket is designed for pure smashing power. The shaft of this racket is rated as super slim, which is similar to the Arc Saber 11 Pro, and this is also rated as extra stiff. So all the Z rackets in the past before have been extra stiff. Extra stiff shafts offer great control and fantastic power, only if you have the right technique and physical fitness to use it. So it's no good just handing this to a beginner and be like, yeah, this is going to maximize your potential. It's not. So choose your rackets very, very carefully. Make sure the characteristics actually match your level. Only you know how well you play the most. Looking at the energy boost cap, which is the cone part of the racket, this is one of the most underrated pieces of tech, but it's so crucial. It makes such a massive difference. So let's wind things back a little bit. Here's an older racket, fantastic racket, Dura Z Strike. But as you can see on the cone, the top part is completely circular, whereas on the new energy boost cap, it's a U-shape. They actually first introduced the energy boost cap in the Astrox 88s, but that was the first iteration. This new energy boost cap was introduced in the Astrox 100ZZ in 2020. On the energy boost cap, you get an ergonomic thumb area. That's for you to hold your racket higher so you can move it quicker. And on the top, there's a U-shape. And when you turn it sideways, that U-shape is actually upside down. This is designed in a way to make sure the shaft flows in the forward direction, stop it twisting around, giving you more accuracy. The Nanoflare 1000Z, like many of other Yonex's top-end rackets, has something called the solid feel core. This reduces miscellaneous vibrations upon impact, giving you that clean punch feeling. The built-in T-joint on the Nanoflare 1000Z is the same one as the 100ZZ. Let's talk about the frame. This frame is an isometric shape. It basically means it's kind of boxy, like a quadrilateral, but not really because it's curved. Well, Yonex uses this famous shape in basically all of their rackets. It's proven and tested to maximize the sweet spot so you can get consistent shots. Let's talk about frame materials. Oh, wow. First of all, it's got high modulus graphite, which is found in basically all of the top end models. And then it's got M40X and nanometric DR by Toray Industries. This company, Toray, makes stuff for space aviation, and they're putting this in a badminton racket. This is bonkers. It's super strong, super resilient, and offers great power. You got to bear in mind that this racket is very, very light. Headlight rackets tend to be quite fragile in the past, but the super strength of this material makes it comparable, if not stronger, than most rackets on the market. These Toray materials are found on the Nanoflare 700, the 800, 800 LT, and also the Dura Z Strike. So the Nanoflares have the M40X, and the Dura Z Strike has the nanometric DR. In addition to this, they have EXHMG, which is found on the Nanoflare 800s. This material just makes the racket super solid feeling. You would be surprised to think a headlight racket like this can feel so powerful. So I've mentioned a lot of different things about this racket. Let me tie it together into one system that the Nanoflare series is really famous for, and that is a sonic flare system. Taking it back one step, you have the original sonic flare system with high modulus graphite on the top of the racket, and then towards the bottom you've got M40X, which is a strong yet elastic material creating a collapsing zone towards the middle of the racket. This racket has an extra stiff shaft towards the bottom of the frame, and on the top they added extra resilience with the addition of EXHMG together with the high modulus graphite. So this essentially contrasts against the M40X in the middle, creating more power, more repulsion, and greater shuttle hold for accuracy in the 1000Z. And for the shaft, it contains high modulus graphite and ultra PE fiber. Ultra PE fiber is light enough to float on water, but it can absorb massive amounts of force, making it super lightweight and durable. Great for shock absorption for those powerful shots. Wow, all in all, I know this has been super long, talk about loads of different types of technology utilized in the 1000Z. Let's talk about how it actually plays. The on-court performance of the Nanoflare 1000Z is simply astonishing. Normally with badminton rackets, you have one aspect that they're fantastic at. For example, the Arc Saber 11 Pro is really, really good for control, or the Astrox 99 is fantastic for smashing. This racket has it all. That's not to say the other rackets aren't great in the other aspects other than their specialisms, but this racket seems to have down 3 core factors that are crucial for the success in a badminton game and delivers it at maximum potential. The 3 factors that I'm talking about is the crushing power for smashing, pinpoint precision for delivering your shots, and also lightning quick agility. Yonex has created a monster, and I'm beginning to think that they might have made a mistake for creating this, because it simply would drown out every single racket in the market, including their own. But we know that Yonex is constantly innovating, and I wonder what Yonex is going to put out in the future, if right now they've put out something so crazy. Let's talk about the offense. Smashing. Traditionally with head-heavy rackets, you get the momentum from the added weight, which helps you get more power. And headlight rackets in the past before lacked this. The feeling with this is not massive weight pushing onto the shuttle. It feels like a sword slicing through the air and snapping at the shuttle. and you can really feel the sonic flare system collapsing towards the middle. It is a very stiff racket to say, but the collapsing zone helps you expel the shuttle with maximum repulsion. When it comes to overhead shots such as drop shots, it's very easy to take the pace off your racket really quickly and fake a smash to do a drop, because obviously there's less weight on top, requires less effort from your part to be able to pull this off. Accuracy is great. When you have a racket that is a bit lighter to touch, you kind of feel the shuttle's weight against the strings a little bit more than if you have a big tank of a racket like the Astrox 99. That racket is fantastic for stability, but when it comes to pure touch, how you really connect with a shuttle, a lighter Nanoflare always has the edge. Let's talk about the defense. Well, hold on. Is there really much to talk about? We already know that Nanoflares are the best in class when it comes to drives, net shots, and defense for smashes, just because it handles so quick. The very aerodynamic and sharp frame just slices through the air, and pairing together with a light feeling, you're just able to effortlessly weave your way around the court. And it's actually quite a game-changing feeling, because normally with defense you're already pressured for time. The shuttle's coming at you so quickly that you don't have much time to think about how you can play the shot, where you're going to play it, and how you can best execute to hit the sweet spot well. This one, well, it just feels like you're operating in slow motion essentially, because the shuttle is coming quick, but you're able to maneuver the racket so fast that you have time to get into the right position and put the shot exactly where you want it to go. This is a very all-rounded racket. It's great for attacking players and great for defensive players. Great for front court and also for the back court. I know it sounds kind of unbelievable. You have to try this to really understand it. But once again, I'm not recommending this racket for absolutely everybody. I would say players tailing towards the advanced end, you can kind of get away being higher intermediate, but I would really say advanced players is where they can really maximize the potential of this and pair it with their game the best. The extra stiff shaft needs a good technique, a robust technique, and also good physical fitness to use. You got to remember that this racket has a compact frame, which is similar to rackets such as the Nano Z Speed, Ultra Z Force 2, Arc Saber Z Slash, Dura Z Stripe, Astrox 100 ZZ, and even the Nanoflare 800 LT. The compact frame is obviously a smaller area for you to target the shuttle, and although it doesn't seem that noticeable, in a very fast game of badminton, every incremental difference matters. So if you're an advanced player that's able to consistently hit the sweet spot, hit the middle of the racket, then you're not going to find any issues. This compact frame does offer its fantastic benefits if you can utilize it. It gives you more of a solid punch when you attack, and also it's obviously more aerodynamic. You can swing faster. Traditionally speaking, headlight rackets are better for full court doubles players because it's quick to maneuver, you can cut off shots, you can play those precision net shots. This one really, I would say you could use for singles or doubles. There's never been a headlight racket with this much stability ever produced. Some notable mentions for famous badminton players right now using the Nanoflare 1000Z is Lakshya, a men's singles player, and Carolina Marin, a women's singles player. In addition, I'm wearing the Yonex Eris X2s. It's a very lightweight shoe. You can maneuver very quickly. Really complements the Nanoflare 1000Z. I'm very lucky to be able to test out many different rackets. And recently I said that Arc Saber 7 Pro has taken the spot for my favorite racket over the Astrox 100 ZZ, which I initially crowned it in 2020. The Nanoflare 1000Z has officially taken that spot, and I'm sure a lot of people after testing out this racket will be able to say the same. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please leave suggestions of what videos you want to see in the future. Keep up to date on my Instagram at ken_casaputra. And in the near future, unfortunately, I'm not able to post too much because I have an internship coming up. But after that, I'll hopefully be able to get back on the YouTube grind.